going, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. Okay, so today's game is pretty cool because it takes two things that Americans generally love and puts them together in one amazing package. Baseball, which is America's pastime, and robots, which everyone loves a robot. This title is from 1991, and it was developed by Konami and published under their Ultra Games label. Today's game is Base Wars. Now, Base Wars, or Cyber Stadium Series Base Wars, but we're just gonna call it Base Wars. It has a simple premise. In the 24th century, owners decided that they were tired of paying outrageous salaries to baseball players, and so they threw all the bums out and got robots. And the robots can do things a little bit differently than the human players can, which makes for a more exciting game. And in essence, this can be true, especially when you see some of the in-game stuff that happens in this game. You have your typical season mode and your single game mode. And each team comes from a traditional Major League Baseball city. So, San Francisco and Chicago, St. Louis, teams like that. Toronto. But what makes this game cool is that each robot is comprised of different parts. So there are different leg elements to different robots, such as a single wheel, like a motorcycle wheel type deal, tank treads. There are robots that hover. There's standard bipedal robots, things like that. And it's pretty cool watching them interact with each other, especially when one robot attempts to cut off another one or tag it out as it's running towards the base. Because that's where things get really, really cool with this game. In the spirit of other Konami sports titles like Blades of Steel, in the event that a player attempts to cut off another player, a fight ensues between those two players. Yes, this is the only baseball game on the NES where fights are pretty much condoned. And since they're robots, they're equipped with different weapons, swords and things of that nature. Swords, maces, stuff like that. Now the only problem is that if a robot sustains too much damage, it'll blow up. Stuff like that. But this game is a pretty solid two-player experience. It can be a bit unforgiving in the single-player experience, but there's some financial management stuff going on with your team, as far as buying parts for players and things like that, upgrading weapons and their mobility, stuff like that. Graphically and sound wise, this game is typical Konami, and in 1991 Konami was doing some great things with NES hardware. So this game is graphically and sonically pleasing in many, many ways. Like I said, this game is way more fun as a multiplayer game, as a two-player game, than it is as a single-player title. So especially, you should definitely check it out if you have someone to play with on a regular basis. It's kind of like most other sports titles on the NES. It's a lot more fun if you're playing with someone else. Finding a copy of Base Wars isn't that tough. You shouldn't pay more than $10 for a copy. I got my copy for $5. So there's that. And yeah, if you like your baseball with a little shot of the future in it, you should definitely check out Base Wars. It's a solid baseball game, and it's proof that Konami, when they wanted to, can make could make even the most dull things like baseball seem ridiculous and awesome. This has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow.